Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us on your Sunday afternoon. We'll get to all of our top stories in just a moment, but first, are you tired of those mild days, hoping for summer? Well, meteorologist John Birchfield might have some good news for you. Is that right, John?
Yeah, that taste of summer arrives for the first full week of June. It is going to be warmer, Michael, as we head towards the upcoming work week, and Monday is going to feature highs near 80 degrees. Now, the humidity levels still remain in check, and it is going to be a very comfy feeling day despite the warm up. And if that's still not warm enough for you, we could be close to 90 by Tuesday. Over the course of your Sunday evening, temperatures have generally been around 70 degrees, a little bit warmer west of I-75, but overall cooler than you may expect as we are now officially in June. High pressure back towards Indiana is going to keep sunshine around for the next several days, and a sunny start to the work week is expected. Out the door for those morning summer camps, still a little bit chilly in the upper 40s. By the afternoon, I am expecting highs around 80, and Tuesday is going to be an even hotter feeling day. 80 degrees with low humidity levels expected Monday. If the kids are heading out towards those summer camps, temperatures are going to be a little cool in the morning, turning milder into the afternoon. I'll have your full 10-day outlook coming up in just a little bit.
All right, we'll see you then, John. Turning to national headlines, pushback continues for some Republicans who are opposed to President Trump's budget bill. They say the costs in the bill outweigh recent cuts and will add too much to the deficit. CBS News has more.
Republican Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky is among those legislators not backing down from concerns about President Trump's budget bill. On Sunday, Paul said he's one of several Republican senators against the way the bill is currently written, arguing it adds too much to the deficit.
If I vote for the $5 trillion debt, who's left in Washington that cares about the debt? We will have lost. But the GOP will own the debt once they vote for this.
Trump has been adamant the bill, which he's named Big and Beautiful, should move forward quickly. Over the weekend, the president wrote on social media that if Senator Paul votes against the bill, the people of Kentucky will never forgive him.
Look, I want to vote for it. I'm for the tax cuts. I voted for the tax cuts before. I want the tax cuts to be permanent. But at the same time, I don't want to raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion. So I've told him if you take the debt ceiling off the bill, in all likelihood, I can vote for what the agreement is on the rest of the bill.
Paul was also critical of Trump's tariffs, which he called a tax on his constituents. Over the weekend, the administration also continued to defend its recent decision to stop recommending COVID vaccines to healthy pregnant women and children.
That panel has been a kangaroo court where they just rubber stamp every single vaccine put in front of them.
A number of medical organizations, including the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, have expressed concern over the administration's changing guidelines, noting the dangers COVID poses to pregnant women. The FDA commissioner said on Face the Nation, it's best for patients to consult with their doctors over COVID vaccines going forward. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
Also over the weekend, President Trump's top economic advisors defended the president's ongoing push for tariffs, despite recent legal challenges over the president's use of emergency powers to bypass Congress in order to enact them. The man accused in a fatal West Toledo shooting is scheduled to be in court tomorrow. Police say Amon Dawson Jr. is charged with murder. Police arrested him just hours after the shooting at a home on Southcrest Street in South Toledo. According to a police report, TPD received a call just after 2 o'clock yesterday morning about a shooting on Phillips Avenue. Officers found a victim, 37-year-old Robert Boone, who had been shot and later died at the hospital. The Polish Ostrich said in a post on social media that the incident was outside of the bar and none of this happened inside the bar. That's all quotes from the Polish Ostrich. A car crashed into a row of graves at Oak Ridge Cemetery in Buchanan, Michigan, damaging several headstones and leaving families shocked. Officials are assessing the damage as loved ones wait for answers on repairs. CBS has more.
How does this even happen? What was going on?
Philip Wake said his parents' headstone was one of the 7 damaged after a car crashed into a row of graves at Oak Ridge Cemetery. Some were cracked while others were knocked off their foundation. Wake says seeing the damage in person was especially shocking as he's still coping with the loss of his father just over a year ago.
It's not even been a year and now there's this kind of damage that who's responsible for? Do we have to now take care of this on our own? Will the people be able to help out? These are the kind of questions that are just kind of going through our heads, and it's kind of a lot right now.
The Buchanan City Clerk says that since they are still assessing damage and waiting for the police report from the crash, it's hard to have a timeline for when the graves will be fixed and what damage will be covered.
It really depends on insurance and what is going to be able to be covered. And plus, headstones take a very long time to do, usually about 6 months. So we're looking anywhere, hopefully in the next year, we can get everything taken care of.
While many of the headstones only saw minor damage, Lake says any amount has a big impact on families.
To see chunks and scrapes and dings off of any of the tombstones, I mean, it's a lot to us. It means a lot to us. And to even see some of the other family members' stones that have been impacted over is like, it feels so disrespectful.
Closer to home now, a 5-year-old boy with a rare genetic disorder will soon be able to go to summer camp thanks to a grant from a community nonprofit. 5-year-old William Greiser from Holland, Ohio, has Rubenstein-Tybee syndrome, a rare genetic condition marked by physical and intellectual challenges. But thanks to Community Fund Ohio, a nonprofit organization that supports individuals with disabilities, he will be able to attend a specialized summer camp this year tailored to children with unique developmental needs.
We really believe that parents know best what their children need. So the camp applications that come in are all over the place. Some select gymnastics camps, some select art camps, kind of whatever they think is going to help their child are the kinds of things we like to support.
Now, this grant is available quarterly, so if you're interested, stick around, because coming up at 11, our Dominique O'Neill will have more on the grant and how it'll be able to make a difference in William and his family's life. In South Jersey this weekend, the first ever Goudreau Family 5K was held. The run was put on to honor the lives of Columbus Blue Jackets player Johnny Goudreau and his brother Matthew Goudreau, who were killed by a suspected drunk driver while riding their bikes. CBS News was there for the event that raises money for a cause and is very important to the family.
And the racers are off.
And just like that, the first annual Goudreau Family 5K was off and running. More than 1,000 people walked and ran through the rain on Saturday morning to honor the lives of Matthew and Johnny Goudreau, who were killed by a suspected drunk driver while riding their bikes in Salem County last summer.
It was emotional. It was great. I mean, early we had a rainbow, which was a pretty neat blessing for the day. Hockey are extremely competitive athletes, as are runners, so just two communities overlap really well.
Guy Goudreau, the father of Matt and Johnny, was among the runners in the field. He put on a brave face for the camera, but admitted the days are still really hard for their family.
Yeah, I'd get halfway and I want to quit, and the boy's voice would get in my head and say, "Dad, you're not a quitter," because that's how I taught them not to be quitters, so. But it's emotionally really draining for my wife and I.
The entire event was organized by the Goudreau family along with members of the hockey community with the goal of raising money for a new adaptive playground at Archbishop Damiano School in Westville, New Jersey, where John and Matt's mom, Jane, has worked for more than 40 years. ADS is a nonprofit school for more than 135 students with disabilities, but the playground is crumbling and inaccessible to many in its current state.
It's pretty incredible how two young men that I raised and my wife and I raised were that incredibly popular throughout the world.
The family fun of this event extended long after the running events were over. The original goal of today's event was to raise $600,000 for that adaptive playground that I mentioned. They came into today already having raised $400,000, so they only had to raise $200,000 more today. In Sewell, New Jersey, Ross DiMattei, CBS News, Philadelphia.
The Ohio Department of Commerce is issuing a new scam warning today. This is one for people who have taken out loans through the Paycheck Protection Program. The ODC's Division of Financial Institutions says it's receiving reports of scammers contacting Ohio bank customers and impersonating bank personnel to try to gain access to financial accounts. The scammers pose as legitimate banks by altering their phone numbers so the caller ID shows a bank's real phone number. Anyone who thinks they've been targeted or fell for this scam should call their bank immediately. The Ability Center hosted an event today to get everyone outside in an inclusive environment. Together We Move is an event that was hosted at the Glass City Market Hall, offering a group walk along an accessible path and other inclusive activities. Scholarships were awarded, vendors offered resources and educational opportunities, and a public art wall where participants can share their goals and dreams. The goal of the event is to build a future where everyone has a voice and a space to move freely.
It's awesome for people to see that people with all abilities can do whatever. We can all get together and do a walk and have some fun.
For the United States of America.
Paralympic surfer and elite adaptive athlete and inclusion advocate Jacob Pacheco was featured as a guest speaker. Well, it looks like carnival season is beginning up again here in Toledo. The annual OLPH Fun Fair was held in South Toledo this weekend. The fair brings in funds to Our Lady of Perpetual Help Parish, but organizers say that their real goal is to give back to their community.
People can bring their kids out, they can afford the rides, they can afford the food and everything, they can afford the games. It is just an awesome experience of bringing people together.
The fair has only been growing since its introduction, with more rides, more attendees, and new this year, a 5K run. 46 puppies were ready for their forever homes this morning at Lucas County Canine Care and Control. LC4 hosted a puppy party where people could meet and greet with adoptable puppies. Adoption fees were reduced for the event to allow puppies to find homes faster and allow space for more dogs that may need to come in. Each puppy adopted is spayed or neutered and have their vaccinations, a microchip, and are current on heartworm, flea, and tick prevention.
But we have dogs available for adoption new every single day. We have puppies every single day. Small dogs, older dogs, little pitties, teenage pitties, adult pitties, German shepherds, everything that under the sun, you name it, we have it. So we can make a match with you and your family to find the best dog for you.
Oh, doesn't that video just melt your heart? LC4 may have another pop-up party in the future, and adoption events can be found on our links mentioned page on our website, as well as a link for dog licensing. And we're hoping to make a big impact once again this year with our St. Jude Dream Home giveaway. When you reserve your ticket, that money goes directly to supporting the life-saving care at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Now, the home, it's valued at $650,000, and it's located in the Coventry Point subdivision in Perrysburg. It has 4 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. And that ticket also gives you a shot at winning a 2025 Honda Civic LX and a Honda electric scooter from Jim White Honda. All you have to do is call the number on your screen right now to reserve your ticket. Every penny will go to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, founded by Toledo's own Danny Thomas, where families never pay a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food. Now let's get things over to John for a better look at our weather. John?
Sunshine continuing into the first week of June. It is going to be a milder Monday with temperatures climbing close to 80 degrees. Despite the warm up, humidity levels remain in check with a very comfy feel. Over the course of Sunday evening, it's been around 70 degrees, so a solid 7 to 10 below average. However, we do have a summer warm up ahead for the first full week of June. Radar and satellite totally quiet, and I do expect dry weather to prevail into the start of the week, and that is thanks to high pressure back towards Indiana. That is going to keep sunshine in the forecast, and those clear skies could potentially enable some Ohioans and Michiganders to see the northern lights. Now, the best chance between 11 p.m. Sunday and 2 a.m. late tonight. There is a strong to even severe geomagnetic storm that is in the forecast, and that is a G3 to a G4, and that could potentially enable parts of our area to witness the aurora. Now, if this forecast does materialize, that view line is likely to extend south of the state line, and the best viewing conditions generally going to be north of Toledo. And temper your expectations. It's not going to be quite as vivid as some of those photos you may see online. However, viewing is ideal when you have the camera app on your phone. That enables some of those colors to pop a little bit more, and the chance to see could even extend to that purple line down into central Ohio. In terms of temperatures, it is going to be chilly overnight with us dropping back into the upper 40s, and afternoon highs Monday climbing closer to 80 degrees. Looking at those next couple of days, here's that good pool weather. Tuesday is going to be a hot one with highs climbing into the upper 80s. By Wednesday, humidity starts to build, and that'll usher in some scattered showers and thunderstorms late Wednesday, and rain is going to be likely Thursday as well. So the hour-by-hour forecast shows you a bright and sunny start to the week as we look ahead towards late Wednesday. That is going to